Hello folks, Burrito.com here, our nippers at the mic, something different this time around. Casual friendly match of dual commander with essentially multiplayer oriented builds. Teneb versus Freyalise, some monogreen against absent color deck. Right off the gates you see on already started positions for both decks, with me with the Razor Verge figure at the bottom into Everson's Pilgrim, and my opponent had a banana start. One of the reasons why I thought this game was actually worth of publishing. So land with a value land into Sol Ring into Priest of Titania, and now that's an artifact that basically, if I remember correctly, draws him a card when there is a landfall trigger going on, and I think he has to pay a bit for the effect to draw a card. My general is not really synergistic, just a beef that does something. And this was dual, but a friend of mine asked me to make this absent deck less combo-ish and more just about value and more or less balanced cards, so I don't have anything bananas here. Just generally good cards. Butterfield is liking a bunch of cool things in here. Swamp, and I think that was Orge of Signet trying to speed up a bit while my opponent has a bunch of mana, so I need to keep up the pace with ramping and stuff. And Cast another dude. I believe that's the that's a some removal. Has to be some removal. One of the 2-mana ones, because I had only like white and a black. So killed the Priest of Titania. Don't remember exactly which spot removal that was. But I had to kill Titania here. She was not producing a bunch of mana here, but as I later on checked the deck list of this monogreen commander deck, it does actually contain a bunch of elves in it, so... And with Sol Ring in play and etc., I was really fearing a bunch of boom bumps. He's playing out the land that produces 2 mana, but it comes into play tapped and forces him to bounce the land back to his hand. Kinda like a Karyu land, but... I don't know why it's this one in here. Anyways, he has just the standard box version of the monogreen commander deck. Mine is a bit more custom. Well, what can I say? Just threw in a bunch of good cards, nothing like ridiculous. So this match actually won't be super interesting for people who are really savvy with dual commander or multiplayer commander, but it could be fun for people who don't take this format super seriously, and just people who just wants to see a crazy situation, crazy game with fun cards in it. So I decided to upload this now so that you guys have a break between me uploading standard legacy and modern videos, so something to laugh about. So I really was damn scared when I saw Titania and Sol Ring. That's like the nut butters, so that you can really desire as the starting sequence. I believe that's a Fauna Shaman on my side. I'm just passing the turn. I think I kept up like some removal for whatever creature comes up next. Sorry for the visuals, like not super clear, but recording with a friend who barely ever plays Magic, and when he plays it's just a bunch of casual decks, and Well, whenever I get to play with him some fun decks, I can't really stress to him a lot about technical issues, and my setup is also not super great, not very visible, but I'm walking you through everything that happens here. Basically, this was before I actually figured out how to make my setup visible enough. And it was a different location than the one I have now. So this is some beef that doesn't do a whole lot. I'm gonna pause it here so that I can check out what actually this thing does. Okay, this is a Grave Sifter. This is a 5/7 for 6. Comes into play. Each player chooses creature type and returns a number of cards of that type from graveyard to hand. So, good value creature, and he get to bring back something up. But I think, while he did get to bring something back, I just killed it end of turn with something. Like a Putrefy or Mortify, something like that. One of those spells, perhaps. So I didn't get to stick and play, but if I would, it would be a challenge. Like, it's a big body, and he got value out of it anyway, so... Also, I think it's a huge trump in the late game when a bunch of your elves die, and then you're like, oh, elves, and bring all of them back to your hand. It's a crazy card. So I really think that out of all the 5 monocolored pre-constructed commander boxes which came out, what was it, 2014? So about like a year and a half ago, the green one is probably by far the strongest. I have seen the mono red and mono white in action at multiplayer tables, and it looked decent, but nothing amazing. But the green one is probably fine, even at a more or less competitive multiplayer commander table, and fairly decent for duels as well, though it's not very interactive, but it just has so much value. You can easily spam the board very quickly. I just went through the deck list once again in between pauses when I'm like narrating this tape, and yeah, like there are a lot of good creatures in that box, in that deck. So really recommend it as a starting point for people who want to get into Commander and really like green and like good creatures that do things. There's nothing super broken in that deck, but and the deck is quite streamlined. Not super many lines of play, but the deck is just much more powerful and smooth than like the Teferi deck or anything you might try as a starting point in this format. So Barmore tapped and 4 mana, and what was that? Oh yeah, the whip. Last turn I just fashed for something. That's pretty much it, and I don't think Fauna Shaman was untapped yet. I mean, it was still in sickness, but now it's not. And the combination of Whip and Fauna Shaman is just so broken. I'm actually not surprised that Necroticus is on the short list and the dual commander. Luckily, Absent deck based around Necroticus and such is not really doing a whole lot in multiplayer. Because everything just dies. You can maybe occasionally get a combo, but if you have this Star Alliance rule, then somebody dies and then you actually die because of those rules. That's annoying. But the main part is that's like, yeah, you have like creature based combo deck, but people are aware of your potential, so they just hate you out so fast. So I think just ramping and having value cards is probably better. Fauna Shaman here is just because it's a cheap tutor and I can get stuff going on. Just a value card here, not really big enabler, but with whip things can get ugly pretty quickly. So I think my friend here just cast Freyalise and put a basically Lenover token into play. It's not like amazing commander, but it's good. It it protects itself because you make tokens out of it. It ramps you. I think ultimate is kind of good. Um, yeah, decent commander, not overpowered or anything. Like some of us, which were in the commander boxes in other years. Yeah. He's a big collector, and the reason why we have this supersized version of Freyalise in play is just because a lot of his stuff is in the folders and the albums in collections, so it's a routine to take out everything from the collection and bring it back. But this way you for sure know at every moment what the hell was in place. So I'm cycling, I believe, like Angel of Despair or the Ashen Rider or something from my hand, or some mediocre creature. But I think Ashen Rider is the stuff that I'm gonna bring back with the whip next turn regardless. Wasn't exactly sure about what I was cycling with the fauna, but it's such a crazy combination of cards, especially if you have those big creatures with seed comes into play abilities. Ashen Rider, Angel of Despair. What else was it? The 7-mana Angel, the triple weight one. Forget the name, that the guy that hides 3 creatures away. But with the whip, the problem is that you're gonna give them those creatures back, but you can kind of reset some of your value creatures like Eternal Witness and stuff like this. So you can get value out of them this way. I think what I took with Fauna was Nisa here. I just wanted more lands, more of this grinding capabilities. Just pump up my capacities also. It can flip relatively soon. Right now it's just 4 lands. Nisa gets me the 5th one, so 2 lands away from triggering it. And get even more value out of it. And I can always cycle her through, etc. And get her back with Weep, get more lands, so... Because this Abzan deck doesn't really play many cards similar to Nisa, like Wood Elves and so on. Though some builds probably should if you're just going into this value Grandfest deck. I don't know, somehow I really like Abzan and all types of singleton formats. German Highlander, French Highlander, whatever, Commander, whatever Highlander. Abzan is just so sick. Just so many generically good cards. For any taste, any strategy. I mean, you can definitely go mono, but then it really limits your choices. This mono green is actually quite okay, and some Omnov decks in multiplayer are very broken. His games tend to go slow, and you're ramping like crazy, and you're casting big spell after big spell. So I believe I brought in a Ashen Rider that took out Freyalise when it came in. So now I'm taking for 5. And it doesn't get to remove something once again, because instead of dying it gets exiled because of the whip. But I still get good value out of it, gain more life, etc. Which is good. He still has this Landover token in there. Basically he has 5 mana from the lands and 6 thanks to the mana dork. Now up to 7. But I think I did a very good job at getting a good board position. I'm not really racked by a sweeper at all means. If something resolves and doesn't kill Fauna Shaman, I can get a lot of value. So my verdict is yes, I really do like this kind of deck for multiplayer, and Necroticus kind of all combos tutor deck for duels. Okay, he resolves another really good creature, which is normally supposed to be pretty good. He is just chatting at the same time. Can't blame him. He likes to multitask. So it's 6 mana, I believe, 4/5 or 4/6. When he casts a creature, he has to draw a card. I really liked that card back in the day, and some people even tried it in the Celestia beatdown decks with old Ravnica in old standard. Now we have this 7 mana enchantment in Zendikar that doubles your mana and lets you basically cantrip with creatures. Pretty strong commander card, I think. Because of my focus on constructed magic, I can't really follow what happens in every casual format like Commander or German Highlander, etc. But I suppose that 7 mana enchantment did some splashes in Commander. Well, Commander is also constructed, but whatevs. Okay, here just found some way to kill it. Not remember exactly how, but there are so many ways to get rid of it. I suppose what I did was just to fetch up a Angel of Despair and cast it. Did I have enough mana for it? Had 5 lands. Pilgrim Cygnus, that's 7. Maybe I'm missing something. I guess if I drew a land, then okay, so, and I cycled the Hornet Nest, which I can get back with the Eternal Witness and stuff like this, which is still in the deck. So yeah, that's Angel of Despair nuking down that 4/5 from his side. Yeah, I see now. So 6 lands plus Pilgrim plus Signet. So I had 8 to cycle something to get it and cast it. My position is really broken here, but he played a lot of good spells. If I would have been a bit unlucky with my own mana acceleration, like no mana dork, no signet, I'm not sure if I'd be able to keep up with him and establish this kind of board. It's no doubt you can do a lot of cool things with this kind of absent deck, tune it up for your taste. You can do all sorts of things. You can do all sorts of things with this mono green deck as well. I think like what you got in the main deal with the deck box is already pretty good. Of course, you can take out some cards and so on, but as I scan through the deck list, there are not that many that you actually like want to upgrade. There are not that many cards that are that bad. For instance, cards like Jaguar Color, if he would have like a bunch of tokens from the Freyalise and some other elves, he would be able to do all sorts of things. I'm not sure there is an elf in absent colors. I know there are a bunch of black green ones because of Lorving and such. And the mono green that you get from the box with the Freyalise is essentially an elf deck, and you lose a lot by not splashing at least black. For example, like at least Shaman of the Pack is huge. I don't remember whether Death Rat is. Yeah, the Death Rat is probably good. I mean, okay, and not banned in multiplayer at least. Some people play it in dual commander, so yeah, it's an elf, and you can only play it if you have a black-green elf commander. That land that you see on his side of the board untapped, it's the one that 3 mana tap sacrifice, bringing a random guy from your graveyard to your hand. Jaguar was kicked a few times, so what he has now is a couple of 4/4s. So each were 1/1s initially, and then with 3 counters. But my board is pretty sick anyways. I don't think I drew a creature, I'm not sure. Well, I attacked with the Angel of the Spear, so kicked him for 5 and gained some life. You cannot quite see the life totals here, but they won't matter a whole lot. I mean exact numbers. So this is the downside, and we tried like a bunch of things, but it was either do this on time, do this match, or not do it at all. And then who knows when we would be able to do this next time. So life totals was a mess because of the mirror images for the webcams and such. My last turn was just about casting the Teneb, that 6/6 dragon. He cast another cute artifact, which normally is supposed to do something, but not in this position. Right, so to clarify, the drawing artifact costed 4, and for the landfall and draw a card you pay 2 and you get to draw. And the other artifact is a 6 mana thing, right? Oh no, it's not a 6 mana, no, it's 5. 2 mana, make something flying on the turn, and 5 tap, destroy a flyer. Pretty good in multiplayer, I would say. And I really like this card because you have a lot of mana and your mono green deck, and you need to deal with flyers, and this also makes your giant monsters into flyers, which is insane. And that deck can provide like so much with giant mates very quickly because of acceleration from Soul Ring and Priest and Medallion. It's quite brutal. Also, that box like contains a Skull Clamp, which is just bananas in this deck if you really get gonna be able to make it going. It synergizes just with your commander, So you make a 1/1 Landwehr Elves token from the commander and then get to draw immediately too with the Skull Clamp. It's just it's such a busty card, and in this deck it's just absurd as well. So I flipped Nissa, saw some decent spell off of it. Between Teneb and Angel of Despair, I have like so much stuff going on for me here. I cycled with the Fauna some of the some mediocre creature I drew from Nissa, I believe, and then I got Witness. This is what I think. It's really good for me that he doesn't have enough mana to activate that artifact right now, so just like 2 or 3 mana here. And I need to do actually something about it, so this is why I went to cycle a guy, get Witness, get some removal back, and then get rid of that artifact, because I would be actually in a tough spot here, because he will get to kill my Teneb all the time, kill my Angel of Despair and stuff like that, and perhaps bounce back somehow. Don't know exactly how, but that artifact actually gave him some hope, in my opinion. So, choosing stuff to pick up with the Witness. I believe there was something to nuke away that artifact right there. Okay. Right, apologize. So, apparently there was a Mortify that doesn't deal with the artifact. So I needed to search for something else, not Witness. There are a bunch of things that could be there. In this kind of deck, creatures like Acidic Slime and the new gigantic one on steroids, the Eldrazi one. Don't remember the name. The 7 mana drop is cool as well. Oh yeah, I suppose I just simply fetched up Quasali Pride Mage to deal with the other artifact. Because there were so many things going on, and we were chatting about all sorts of things about life and whatnot. I didn't remember exact content of my graveyard, what to bring back with the Witness. Anyways, this was a casual kitchen magic kind of game. Though I wasn't playing with very casual cards, that's for sure. So I was thinking what to whip back, but I didn't want to bring back anything really underpowered, so simply didn't activate it just yet. Attack with the Flyers, use the ability of the Teneb, gain a bunch of life, took something from his graveyard. Don't remember exactly what I took. There were some good targets, I believe. Anyways, like, he figured he was so low on life and everything, so he picked it up very